we wound up losing like $3.5 million in commission because none of our agents followed up past the one phone call after they got back. And that was a crazy moment. It made me sick to my stomach. And we showed that to everybody.
What do farming and real estate have in common? They both require patience, grit, and a tolerance for things that don't go as planned. Neither one cares about your feelings. I'm Jen Way. This is Cows and Contracts. All right. So, Andrew, thank you so much for cutting out a little bit of time and coming to let me interview you and share your knowledge with my community.
Yeah, Jen, I am excited to be here. And congratulations on the podcast. Very cool.
Thank you. Thank you. We're, you know, we're hoping that everybody agrees.
Yeah.
For sure. Andrew, you and I talked a little bit beforehand, and I'm going to ask you some very specific questions, right? But I do want to take an opportunity for all of you listening at home right now. Why should you care at all about what Andrew Becker has to say, right? I've known Andrew for a very short amount of time here, but I can tell you the man is full of knowledge and information that is extremely useful in real estate. That's exactly why I invited you. But Andrew, please introduce yourself, tell people who you are, and why they should pay attention while you're talking today.
So I am nothing special, Jen, although I appreciate that. And I'm going to need that recording to give to my wife and my kids because I ask myself that question every single day in the mirror and I've yet to find a good answer for that, especially when it comes to them. Okay. But all right. So I got my, I'll kind of start before real estate because I think it will help make sense. But I am an OCD person, like very OCD, Jen. And I got my first real job out of college working at the Pentagon, doing nuclear enterprise, nuclear weapons stuff for the men and women of the United States Air Force. And in that role, my job was to support enlisted and officers and anything that they needed me to do. And a lot of it was around policy, systems, processes, and checklists, which I fit right into very well. So I learned a lot about following instructions and figuring out when something goes wrong, how to quickly audit to see what went wrong and why and fix it. So flash forward, I did that for about 7.5 years. And then back in 2013, I started a real estate team in Arlington, Virginia, right outside across the river from Washington, D.C., with my best friend, Buddy. We've been friends for 30 years, 30 plus years from middle school. And we started a real estate team at KW, actually, the brokerage. We got into retail. We got into helping people list their homes, helping people find homes to buy. And then a couple years after that, we did the Wholesaling Inc., TTP, talk to people with that group that we were just talking about earlier, learned about wholesaling and kind of never looked back. And I ran that team for about 11 years as the co-founder. Flash forward even further, leveraged the team, started four different real estate related companies. I can touch high level on them if you'd like me to. But it was all just for our own team purposes. So we built them for ourselves, kind of like the entrepreneurial bug here. The first was a software company called Billions, which is a team, real estate team operating systems. So think CRM, analytics, pre-built all in one that we needed for our own purposes. The second is we started doing pay-per-click Google ads to get motivated cash offer type of seller leads. Spun that into a marketing agency called Brighter PPC, where we help investors and wholesalers do that across the country. Most recently, I started a coaching program called the Probate Engineers, where we teach real estate professionals how to install a seven-figure probate department in their operation in 4 weeks because we did probate for the last 7, 8 years, got really, really, really good at it. And then I have my own podcast that I think you've been on or you're going to come on one of these days. I forget. I've shot so many episodes called the Team Lead Talks podcast, where I interview industry alike professionals about their journey, their lessons, so people can better their life and their business by picking up on something that we talk about. So that is a high level overview, Jen, of what I have going on.
And there's so much about you that I sometimes forget, like, that you have some of these other products too, right? Because I'm obsessed with this probate engineers that you've presented. I think that it's brilliant in the way that real estate investors have a unique opportunity that we don't have to just come out here and be salespeople and negotiate and get deals. We can actually just help people and get deals because of that, right? We can genuinely run around here just being like, hey, I can help, and make really good money
I
with
love
probate.
that you say that, Jen, because everyone I speak to that is interested in this program, I say, if you don't actually think in your heart that you're providing a tremendous amount of value, Jen, to these people that are going through this, then this is not a good program for you. This is not a get rich quick scheme, like get into probates on Monday, close the deal on Friday. You are helping just like people help, in our industry get a home sale through, right? By removing hurdles before they do that. We do that for the probate aspect of it. So the property part is almost like the secondary, tertiary thing that happens, but we focus on probate, we focus on removing the chaotic, overwhelming, stressful feeling for the person responsible for the file getting all the way through, and if you don't believe that in your heart, then probate's probably not the right niche for you.
100%. And that's exactly why you and I align, man. And yes, I've been on your podcast. Um,
Yes.
I promised you I would invite you to mine as soon as mine was open, remember? And here we are.
And now here we are. Yeah.
So, hey, real quick note before we get into the questions. Let's not call them those people. Fun fact: Andrew and I are both a part of Coaching Inc. Tom Kroll's new adventure, right? They were formerly known as Wholesaling Inc. The whole crew there, and we were just talking about how interesting it is to, see the evolution of where people started and where we end up, and then how interesting. I had no idea what Wholesaling Inc. was.
Yeah.
And I actually am just a part of this new adventure, right? And so, very cool to be able to see the communities all just collide and people from the past and, new. We're all just out here trying to
Yeah.
find success
We're all
through
doing
real
our
estate.
thing. I'm glad that we're both in this program because we got to connect and do some cool stuff, and I'm sure we'll continue to do cool stuff. But also I ran into people that I was like years and years ago doing stuff with in different masterminds, and it's fun to see like it's like a college reunion kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah, very weirdly, somebody just joined Coaching Inc. who I did his first deal with him in Colorado Springs like 10 years ago or something.
Wow,
And then
that's
his
crazy.
face just popped up in Coaching Inc. And I was like, what are you doing here? Like,
Yeah.
it
That's
was
cool.
crazy. All right. So, Andrew, we are going to talk about why you're not perfect now. Okay. Pop you up so I can show people you're also human.
Yes.
Andrew, what is something in your career that you were absolutely certain you were right about, and then you found out you were wrong?
So I think the biggest kind of like aha moment came in our operation when I was running the team, Jen, was I thought to be super successful and to get a lot of transactions and a lot of volume done that you needed a crazy amount of lead sources. So at our prime, we had 50, 75, maybe 100 different things that we were doing to try to accomplish that goal, and that was a massive mistake. Now I preach and I talk about all the time an 80-20 Pareto principle regarding lead sources in a real
Yeah.
estate operation, where we're now doing less lead sources that's producing more revenue because we're laser focused on that. So there's a term that we like to throw around called shiny object lead syndrome in real estate that a lot of people are like, "Oh, this just came out." This now the new one I think, and who knows if this is shiny object or not, is like AI search results, right? Everyone's talking about that. In my mind, that probably makes sense because I do think the future is AI, but that's another shiny object that people are pumping capital and investing in when you can just focus on your 80/20. And just in case anyone does not know what I'm referring to, is the 80/20 Pareto is 80% of your revenue or output comes from 20% of your effort, right? So when we started really dialing in on data, Jen, and collecting data in a very repeatable, predictable way, we started to see this stuff. So we had all these lead sources, and the people, even our own appointment setters or agents on our team, were influencing us, saying, "Hey, we need more sources. Oh, this one isn't good. Find a different one." And we just jump, 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 and like pay for this, pay for that, pay for this. And when you're running an operation, that overhead adds up like fast, right? But when we started looking at data, off the top of my head, this was like 2 or 3 years ago. I'm not in my operation anymore, but it was pay-per-click, joint venture, probate. We had a developer letter that we sent that was very high quality, from our Sotheby's brokerage, and then a few other things. So we looked at each other and said, "Why are we trying to, like, find this elusive lead source that we think exists out there that's like the best lead source that it's just hidden still, when we have this group of, call it, 5 lead sources that produce the majority of our revenue, one of them being probate, we got really good at probate. One of them being PPC, we got really good at PPC. Not to make me sound like I have an ego or anything, so please don't take it like this. But we did PPC and probate so well, we were able to commercialize what we did and we help other people now. So just an example of how deep we went into it. So
Yeah.
now, yeah, instead of going a mile wide on our lead sources, we went a mile deep on a
Yeah.
handful. And then we expanded our skill set in different exit strategies for probate leads, for example. So now I could go to a probate lead and say, "Hey, Jen, I can buy your house yesterday for 250, no contingencies, no this, no that, whatever. Or on the other end of the spectrum, I can renovate your house on our dime, list it at Sotheby's International Realty for the maximum amount of money the market is willing to pay you for it, and then everything in between." So instead of having to figure out what lead sources to do, how to get a Zillow Flex, how to do this, how to do that, we just said, why don't we just give our leads or prospects more options internally? We can control all those variables. So that was probably the biggest thing. And not to mention, I was the operations guy, so I was responsible for all this. So imagine when I said we can get rid of 45 of our lead sources that no one really even cares about in the first place, that might close a deal or two every 2 months.
I mean, you're speaking my language completely and totally, right? I'm everything that I say out loud all the time. Quality over quantity, guys,
Yeah,
right?
it's real. It is definitely real.
It's very real and it's so much less stressful, right? To just like have a smaller, I mean, honestly, really at the end of the day, it can be a smaller deal flow, but still making you more money too.
And
Because
yeah, with the smaller deal flow, that actually allows you to get better at the acquisition side. So maybe instead of making 20K an assignment fee, we got ours up to 29, $31,000 average assignment fee just by getting better at a smaller subset of skills that we needed versus getting lost in the next thing that everyone's talking about on Facebook.
yes, 100%. I mean, that's literally who I am, guys, right? That if you don't, if you're just listening to this podcast and you actually don't know who I am, I'm not sure I've said that yet in any of these recordings. Um, I coach sales, literally how to have the highest quality conversation for the highest conversion rate and the best prices. Because when you get great at that, you're going to get better prices from people and your average profit per deal goes up. So you don't have to track as many transactions. You don't have to check with as many title companies. You don't have to find as many buyers to assign it to. You don't have to get as many contractors to flip one more house because you didn't make any money on the last one. Like, it's incredible, right? Fewer moving pieces, quality, not quantity. I'm
Yep.
a huge fan, huge fan. And
Yes.
besides that, tell me I'm wrong. AI is taking the quantity game. We can't dial 24 hours a day. but they can,
Yep.
right?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And it's too shiny. Everybody's putting their money into it.
I know. I know. Yeah. I mean, AI, we could talk about on another episode as well, but
Yeah, we definitely don't have time for that one. We'll have to get you rescheduled and we'll do that again. But all right, so Andrew, solid. Absolutely solid. And I think that a lot of people listening to this, if they haven't figured that out yet, they're gonna see it soon, right? So, guys, if you're out there chasing a bunch of different lead sources right now, do yourself a favor and just run your numbers. All right? Just see if there's something there. If you don't look at the data, then you don't know where to put the money to make more money. So, run your KPI reports. This is critical. You're never going to maximize your sales program if you're not running your KPIs. Period. The end. There's no discussion.
let me add
Okay?
one thing, Jen. The more you can automate that part, because running KPIs can be hard if you're not organized. The more you can automate that, the better. And I would also challenge anyone to not only do that on their lead sources, anyone running a team, start to do it on people as well, because
Yes.
whether you like it or not, it's a business and you need to make money to stay in business, and people can return or not return just as much as lead sources can. And then you are dealing in fact, you are dealing with emotion. It's black and white. This is what Jen is doing. This is what Andrew's doing. This is what Probate is doing. This is what PPC is doing. But make sure you are collecting your data in a consistent, predictable, repeatable way so you can trust it.
100%. And side note, guys, if you would like a KPI tracker, contact me. Literally have a KPI tracker set up where you can just start plugging your numbers in. And Andrew is 100% right. There's marketing KPI and then there's sales KPI. Finding out how your salespeople are converting from conversations to offers, this stuff matters. All right. It's not just about how much money am I spending on direct mail or cold calling or PPC and how much am I getting out of it. It's not just that top down, but you also need to be able to break down what's going on. Data, not drama,
Yeah.
right? Data, not drama.
And keep in mind for those who might not be as in tune with their data, this is a math game, you guys. It's I remember one KPI that we created that was interested leads per closed deal. And we could take that and just work the math backwards to see how many leads we needed to get, how many appointments to get, how many this to get, how many that. Oh, by the way, we knew of the breakdown between a wholesale assignment, highline revenue, loss or profit from investing, from flipping, from wholesaling, from retail buyer, from retail seller. So we knew those numbers. And then, Jen, we could even say we're not working with buyers anymore. Our average sales cycle for a buyer was 150 days and the average commission was 11K, when our average wholesale assignment fee was about 30K and closed in 26 and a half days. So why would we're wasting money on an hourly basis focusing on buyers. So we stopped doing rentals. We stopped doing buyers very quick because we're just looking at the numbers and we're looking at what was working and most importantly, what was not working.
If you want to keep wasting your money, then don't do what Andrew just said. Okay?
Money
But
and time. If you
right,
want
money
to
one
keep,
time,
yeah,
yeah. But that little piece there that people don't think about is you also get to find the holes and plug them. Okay? You get to find the holes and plug them. Every business has got some small leaks. And if you're not running the numbers, you're never going to find them because they're small
can
leaks.
I that just gave me PTSD about something that happened to us in like 2017, 18. Can I share like a really quick plugging the hole in your business story with everybody and with you, Jen? So in 2017, I think we closed like 3.5 million in volume in GCI, something like crazy. And on our team, our model was we did the marketing, we paid for everything, we set appointments up for our agents. We had appointment setters that would vet them, agents that would go on them. That was their only job, go on appointments. We closed a lot and we had a really great year that year, but that's when we started getting really hyper focused on the data part.
Mhm.
So we actually started a lost commission report. And what we found is that we lost actually more than we closed, and it was a massive hole because our agents got so complacent where we would give you, Jen, 5 to 10 appointments a week. You would move forward with the ones you signed on the spot, but you would never follow up with any of the other ones, maybe once or twice. So we had a VA go through our entire database, cross reference it off of the MLS closed data information, and we
Wow.
use conservative numbers like 2.5% commission. And we wound up losing like $3.5 million in commission because none of our agents followed up past the one phone call after they got back. And that was a crazy moment. It made me sick to my stomach. And we showed that to everybody. And a lot of people were pissed because we did it by agent.
Oh no, they saw it. Yep.
Yeah, but it was like, stop asking us to get this is going back to the more lead sources, more spending on marketing. They said over and over, fire Peter, redo the vetting, get this lead source, do this, do that. And we're like, there's no way we're getting the amount of volume and lead volume that this should be happening. It's not
Yeah.
just get 1,000 lead sources. So we plugged a massive hole. We set up tech, we set up automations in our tech that said, hey, our system's called Billions, but it'd say, hey, in Billions, Jen has 15 leads that aren't dead, that aren't closed, that she has no future follow-up scheduled for. So it would red spotlight. We have a dashboard called the zero dashboard. When something was not happening that needed to happen, we call it the zero dashboard because every report on that dashboard needs to be zero, or it meant that Jen had an overdue task. So it'd say one or something like that. But
Yep.
we had a report called no future follow-up tasks scheduled. And the filter was if it's not dead or if it's not closed, it is considered active.
Yep.
And that went up like crazy at first. So then we built drips and automations and all this stuff and started to plug that hole. And then we also said, you're not getting appointments from the team unless you're converting at a 35-40% conversion rate. So we started to put in place all these restrictions
Hmm.
because of all that. And it wasn't because we didn't want to give them it. It was because leads cost money, appointments cost even more money, and we needed to protect. We had a fiduciary role as the owners to protect the capital investment of the company, and we couldn't just let anyone squander that by not doing what they said that they were going to do. So
Yeah.
we made that statement and said, if you want to stay, stay. If you want to leave, leave. But here's what we're going to do. And then we implemented that and then took our profit margins from like 11% that year. And year over year, we got up to like 36.6% by plugging a massive hole and seeing what was working, what wasn't. That's why that's so.
I was just had a coaching call earlier today, and I was explaining to people how 2/3 of your deals are in your follow up.
Yeah,
It's incredible. The
it's nuts.
best the best real estate investors are making more money in their follow up than they are in the first
Yeah.
contacts. They just are.
Yep.
It's just this is how it works.
Yep. Yep.
And if y'all don't think that this market shifting from seller to buyer, this is going to be a transition for these sellers. So I'm betting follow up needs to be even better for a bit because sellers are not going to come and put their feet on earth for a minute,
Hmm.
right? They want those prices that they just saw. And so, yeah. So, guys, this is going to be actually, I think, more critical than ever going forward until sellers accept that the market's changing, right? So,
Yeah. Yeah.
Andrew, second question. What is something the audience can do? Consistent, simple activity. It could be personal, business, uh, whichever. If you want to give us both, give us both. A consistent, regular thing that you are doing that has just changed everything for you, right? So, for example, for me, I when I do yoga in the morning, my days tend to stay glued together much better than when I don't. Is something you can share with the audience here
I
like
do.
that they
Yeah,
can
I
go
do
ahead
have
and
two. I'll
okay.
start with the business side first. I want everyone who might feel overwhelmed or might feel like they're not as organized as they should be to start asking yourself the same question every time you start to do a unique individual task. You ask yourself, do I have a playbook for this? A playbook is also known as a standard operating procedure. So in all the companies that we operate, I try to instill a culture of anytime we're doing something like ordering photos or a signpost or adding a new user to the CRM, right? A new team member. I like it when everyone on the team says, do we have a playbook for this? And if we don't, we pull the playbook template. It's the blank playbook and we insert whatever it is. Our playbooks are the foundation and core of our operation that we use to grow and scale efficiently and effectively in an optimized manner. So as we progress in all the companies, I'm using the same framework from my team to Billions to Brighter to Team Lead Talks to Probate Engineers, and then maybe anything else in the future. But I like to read, Jen, and one of the biggest things I like to read about are CEO like autobiographies or podcast episodes, and the majority of the time when they're talking to, like, whether it's a Disney World CEO or a CEO you've never heard of that scaled a company to $400 million, the main thing is, like, we did repeatable, predictable SOPs and frameworks so that it made things easy to accomplish. And I also attribute this to one of my coaches that I had when I started my software company, Dan Martell. I talk about him a lot. He has a book called Buy Back Your Time, and
Mhm.
he talks about the concept of a playbook library. So I built that. It's super easy, everyone. We use a Google Workspace, but you can really use anything. We compartmentalize it by department. So marketing, sales, maybe product if it's a product company, G&A, whatever, right? That matches our org chart. And every single time we do the most mundane thing, we make a playbook. And if your hiring practices, if your desire, Jen, is to grow and scale, this is where this really comes into play, and makes hiring even easier. So if you're getting the right person in the right seat, guess what? Jen, I'm having you come in as my marketing director. Instead of me, the CEO or the COO or whoever, having to sit down and come up with a, hey, Jen's starting in 2 weeks. What the hell are we going to tell her? What's the plan? What's this? What's that? If you're the right person, you can critically think beyond the playbook that you're about to take over as primary owner and get it to that 100%. Dan always says getting somebody else to do 80% of something is 100% awesome. So if you're a critical thinker and you're in the right position, you should be able to take what's in that playbook and go and do and make it better. All of them are live, so there's version control. But the thing I really like about it, and this is going back to my OCD issues that I talked about before and my time at the Pentagon, is when things go awry, it makes it easy to audit what happened or didn't happen. Because, Jen, if you submit an appointment and do 10 different things, and I submit an appointment and do 35 different things, our data, our CRM, everything about that process is blown up. It's chaos, right? Like, why are you doing 10 and I'm doing 35? It makes no sense. So if we're both doing the same 7 things every single time, every single day, it makes our jobs easier and automates a lot of stuff. But if something were to go bad, we pop open the playbook, go to the bottom. It says, did you do A? Did you do B? Did you do C? And you're going to say, I didn't do B. Well, why? Well, this part was confusing. Why? Because when I went here, the tab changed. Where is it? Okay, they updated the website. Let's fix it in real time. You fix it, you've audited that. But if you did it 10 ways and I did it 35 ways, imagine the chaos that would ensue when you're trying to run and operate a business, deal with drama, deal with transactions, deal with stuff coming up. And then you're also trying to figure out why in the world our appointment process didn't work. So that is a thing that I try to do and I share with everybody to get organized and get really, really dialed in. Honestly, like down to when we were going into offices, how to change the coffee filter. So you, as the owner or the director or the department manager, does not have to show somebody that.
Yeah.
right? And just do it for every single little thing. And here's my a good way to accomplish this. You don't have to sit down and do like a million playbooks in a week, right? You
Yeah.
do them either as they come up. So, hey, Jen, we have to add Samantha to the CRM. Do we have a playbook for that? No. Okay, let's do it. We can talk about the contents of the playbook if you'd like, but I'm sure everyone kind of gets the idea. Come up with it on the spot. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just put something down and get it going. Or what we did is every Saturday at 9 a.m., I started doing a playbook every Saturday morning. So after 52 weeks, I had 52 different playbooks that I can think of. I made a list of like the top ones I thought were the most important, and I just started doing it. And then you go to this playbook library and you have to do something. You do a quick, control F find for adding a new user. Boom, here it is. It's got a video with me talking through it. It's got play by play scribe, snapshots just in case you want to follow a PDF. It's got a checklist. It's got this, it's got that. And now I'm not spending or wasting any time training up new employees. They're just going and saying, here's all your playbooks. This is what you need to do. If you don't understand anything, there's a primary playbook owner contact at the top. Reach out to them if you have any questions. And that is how you grow and scale by doing the same predictable, repeatable things that the entire company knows how to do.
Boring stuff.
Yes. So that's my business side. My personal one is yeah,
I've been around here for a minute. I know I look like I'm 21, but I've been around here for a minute. I've heard of the people you were just talking about, but I haven't read that book.
buy back your time.
Yeah, I
Send me
haven't
your
read that.
address. I'll send it to you.
All right, I'll text you after
I've
this.
sent that book out to like 50 people.
We're gonna say no to a free book.
It's
Love it.
awesome. I've read
Yeah.
it. I've probably read it like 10 times also.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
an amazing book.
And guys, I'm literally sitting here right now going, what am I doing tomorrow morning? Because tomorrow morning is Saturday. And I am thinking about starting 52. I don't think it's going to take 52 weeks because my operation is so simple, because I'm a simple woman, right? But that is really smart because as Andrew's talking right now, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, yeah, I have a whole bunch of random pieces of paper over here because I know I'm getting close to hiring. And I'm just calling them SOPs because we're military family. So that's what I'm calling them instead, right? But they're just like there's a random one here, a random one there, and because I knew I needed it.
Let's get you organized, Jen. I'll do one thing better for you if you want them. I will send you an email with the playbook library template that you can copy and clone. I have a playbook on building playbooks that will describe what you need and then a playbook template. I'll send it to you as soon as we're off and you can not have to start from scratch.
Just promise me there's not a comma, but I need this from you.
I'll send you 3 links. You click on them, you copy it, you save it from wherever you want.
Okay. All right.
And I'll even send you the book so you can read through that section of the book to get even more ideas if you choose to. The key here, though, is model this concept and then modify it for how you want to do it, and you'll be good.
Yeah. No, I thank you.
And I'll
Yes.
also tell you, like, do it what you want, obviously. But if you set a recurring 9 a.m. calendar invite for Saturday morning to do a playbook, that is a lot more helpful instead of just doing it once and then, oh, next Saturday you forget.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like I just said, I'm thinking about going on a 52-week stay. I just don't think it's going to take 52 weeks. I don't think there's 52
Well,
processes.
also remember, Jen, if you do the 52, that's kind of like your parachute failsafe, like once
Yeah,
every Saturday.
yeah,
But as soon as you get off, I don't know what you're doing the rest of the day. If you do a task, make a playbook. Start it. Just start your first one. And the tools I use, by the way, just in case you need this, Loom and Scribe simultaneously, add them to your Google Chrome browser. I don't know if you have other browsers, what you do, but you hit record, you hit go, and then you just go and do whatever you're doing if it's online, and then it will record it for you. Talk through it though, so they can pick up on the nuances. But imagine, Jen, you hire whoever you're mentioning hiring in 4 weeks from now, and you can say, here's 10 playbooks. This is what you're going to be doing. And
100%.
right
That's
person,
why I had to pause you.
yeah,
That's why
the
I had to
right
pause you,
person, they should be able to pick up on it and then make it even better as they start to do things and get better.
because that's why you were there, is to hyper focus quality, not
Yeah,
quantity, right?
exactly.
Exactly.
So,
That's all,
can
man.
I
Let's
share
do
my
it.
personal one now?
Yes, please.
Alright, so this is what I try to do every morning, and I'm pretty good at it, probably like a 6 out of 10, maybe not on a Sunday kinda thing. But when I wake up, I read the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, and he talks about the concept of habit stacking. So what I do is I get up, I come all the way down to the basement and I feed my cats. That's the first thing I do generally in the morning. And then I make coffee. I sit down in my sunroom and I read a minimum of 10 pages every single morning. And that's how I start my morning. When I'm done with the 10 pages, I do as many push ups as I can. So I have a little mini habit stack in the morning where if I don't do it, Jen, like you with yoga, I feel off and I feel like the rest of my day is like ruined. Oh, sorry. Depending on if my wife is still asleep or not, I make my bed. That's another big thing. So I make my bed and then I go downstairs, or I'll make my side of the bed if she's still sleeping in it. So mini habits hacking just makes me feel like I've accomplished something starting off. There's also a really good book called Make Your Bed by Admiral McChrystal, I think, that I am trying to instill in my son. So they have a little mini habit sack. They wake up and make their bed, they brush their teeth, they get their backpacks for school, and if on a weekday, they make their lunch for school. Those are the 4 things that I'm trying to have them do.
Yeah. Uh, my father was a Marine.
Okay.
Make your bed every,
That's a
yep.
great book. I love that book. And you
Yeah.
can read it in like 20 minutes. It's like 100 pages, but it's like this big. So,
It's incredibly would be on the list of things that, like, I would have been like, "This is stupid. Make your bed every day."
but it's
Like,
not. How much better do you feel when you make your
no.
bed every morning? It's weird.
It's very weird.
Yeah.
It's like an immediate check.
When? It's immediate when?
Yeah, for me, it's like, "All right, I've accomplished something today,"
And here
right? It's
yeah,
just
here's what he says. He's like, "If you just do that all day, at least at the end of the day, if that's the only thing that you did, when you come back to a made bed." And
yeah,
how nice is that, like, mentally?
yeah, yeah, no, that's
Especially
very
that I'm
true.
getting older now. I'm about to turn 22, Jen. I know you're 21, but it's just a mental thing that I have to do, and if I don't, I feel off.
Oh, you 10 years old at the Pentagon? What's going on here?
I'm not good with dates. Let's move on. Let's move on.
That's really good, man. And to be, to kind of take that a step further, y'all, it's not just yoga for me. It is literally a stack of things that I'm doing in the morning. So like as soon as I wake up, the first thing I do every single morning, it's weird, but I also feed the cats. That's weird, but that's the first thing that I do. And then
Yeah,
I
you
feed,
feed your cats? That's the first thing you do? No, that
yes,
is really weird.
the first thing I do is make sure that the cat food bowls, because we have farm cats, right?
Yeah.
So I get to them first, and
So
then
we're
I come.
both feeding cats about 2 hours. I'm doing
Yeah,
it 2 hours ahead of you.
yeah.
First
You're
thing
a
in the
future.
morning. Yeah, nice.
That's of
That's
all the things to line up, we both feed
yeah.
cats.
Also, Jen, all jokes aside, I actually did work at the Pentagon when I was 14 and 15 and 16. I had a paper route. This was random, but
Okay.
I had a paper route and I delivered the, uh Air Force times, Army times, Marine times, Navy times to all the secretaries of the services and the Secretary of Defense. So I literally went around with my dad in the Pentagon. He worked there, which helped. But I did work at the Pentagon when I was a teenager.
That's nuts, man. That's
Yeah,
nuts.
isn't that crazy?
So yeah, like I was saying, it's feed the cats. Then I feed my two inside dogs while they're eating. I make a pot of coffee. As soon as that's done, the first two dogs are done eating. Then I get the livestock dogs. I get their food together. I go feed all of them. I come inside. I make a cup of coffee.
Nice.
And I don't read early in the morning. I'm later in the day.
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm a morning person, so I'm like, I can't sit still like that necessarily.
What time do you get
Uh,
up? I'm just curious. Are you like an early riser?
5.
Okay. I get up at 5:55. But recently I've been waking up at like 2 or 3 in the morning, like on the like 2:22. It's weird. Or 3:19, like specific times all the time. That's a whole nother podcast episode, by the way, too.
Wow.
But normally, generally, my alarm goes off at 5:55.
Yeah, if I'm not awake by 5:15, um, the farm won't accept it.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah. 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 Right.
And then the as the days get a little bit longer, now all of a sudden, I actually end up start creeping that even earlier, like
Mm.
during the summer months because the sun's already up and the dogs are
Yeah.
looking
Yeah. Yeah.
right because they can't tell time, they just see the sun.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely 100%. It's not just the yoga, right?
Mhm.
It is absolutely every single day of my life starts exactly the same. And when it doesn't, ooh, I'm just bracing for impact because it's gonna be a rough day,
Yeah.
right?
It
It's gonna
compounds. It really compounds and like
yeah,
builds and builds, which is really the cool part.
yeah, absolutely, man. Well, Andrew, listen, I'm absolutely going to publish along with this, the links and information, everything that Andrew has talked about when it comes to him, guys. If any of that is something that intrigues you, or you're already in that and you're looking for better advice, or maybe some new advice that you just haven't heard somewhere else yet, reach out to him. I'm going to make sure the information is right here in the show notes. You guys can access him. Andrew, thank you so much for
Yeah, Jen.
giving me an hour of your time here today. I really appreciate it. I just know everybody listening is going to walk away today like, I got some things I need to do, right? And that's the point. We're here to light fires.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you having me on. It's been a lot of fun. Um, and I will share the playbook stuff that I mentioned to you. I'll email that to you shortly. Text me your
Awesome.
home address. I'm gonna send you that book.
I will, man. I'm never saying no to that kind of stuff. Stop it.
Cool.
No, twist my arm. Right? No. Any last words for the audience before we wrap up here, Andrew?
I'll kind of just expand on if you want to reach out and chat with me. I do my best now. I'm in the stage of my life where I'm out of the day-to-day transaction stuff, moving into like the coaching, mentoring, helping people. So I will, to the best of my ability, if you reach out with a question, try to help you as best as I can.
I know you will, man. I know you will. Otherwise, I wouldn't have invited you here.
Very true. Yeah. So, Jen, what do I have to do? How much do I have to pay you to be the first published episode of your podcast? What's that look like?
Goodness, we're gonna
Because
have.
you haven't published any yet, right? I could squeeze up into position one.
Okay, we can talk. I'm a
Okay.
saleswoman. You know how this works.
Yeah, true. Let's negotiate.
All right, Andrew. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jen.
I'm Jen Wei. I was going to study dolphins. Turns out real estate and cows are more profitable. See you next week.